Hello, everyone. First at 5, an update on that wildfire burning in the Beaver Creek area of rural Clackamas County. Dozens of acres have been torched by what's been dubbed the Forest Park Fire, and plenty of residents warned of a potential evacuation. Thank you for joining us. I'm Laurel Porter.
And I'm David Molko. Well, it appears fire crews have made significant progress in stopping the spread. As Mike Benner reports, this blaze may be a sign of what's to come.
What you're looking at here is a more than 30-acre wildfire burning in rural Clackamas County, near the corner of Upper Highland and Lower Highland Roads in Beaver Creek, to be exact. The fire started Thursday, and since then, it's moved into a little bit of timber and small trees. We can tell you that both firefighters and crews from a correctional facility spent a lot of Friday putting a fire line around the flames. While so far successful, fire crews are worried about the months ahead. May was hot and dry, but in all likelihood, conditions will worsen as summer sets in.
Without rain and all that, as it dries out, the grasses will start to dry, the brush, everything. And as that dries, that just becomes like kindling for a fire. And grass especially can spark very easily and can move very fast.
Jessica Pracky of the Oregon Department of Forestry says fire crews are fully prepared for whatever summer brings, including the pre-summer wildland fire burning in Beaver Creek. All right, I'm told that in all likelihood, crews will monitor this fire for hotspots through the weekend. As far as the cause, fire officials just don't know. They tell me it's under investigation. Reporting in Beaver Creek, I'm Mike Benner for KGW News.
In Vancouver, one person is seriously hurt in a fire at a home. The call came in this afternoon by P Street and 32nd. Neighbors had reported hearing explosions. Firefighters say the home's detached garage was on fire when they got there. They kept the flames from spreading to the house itself. It's not clear at this point what caused the reported explosions, but neighbors describe a chaotic scene.
It was crazy. It looked like out of a movie scene, honestly. It was just flames. You can feel the heat rushing, just debris flying out through the air. It was not a fun time.
One man was hurt. The fire is under investigation.
Wow, that video. Okay, we've got new information this evening on a fire at a pizza shop and movie theater in McMinnville. Police have arrested the woman they say started it. 38-year-old Megan Ray faces 4 charges, including reckless burning. That fire sparked in the middle of the night last week at 3rd Street Pizza. Fire crews put it out and they kept it from spreading to neighboring businesses. The restaurant owner says once repairs are done, they plan to reopen.
This weekend marks 13 years since Kyron Horman went missing. The 2nd grader was last seen at Skyline School in Northwest Portland. He has never been found. Investigative reporter Kylie Boshi has been on this story since day one. He joins us from the newsroom. Kyle, a very somber anniversary.
Laurel, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says the case is still, quote, open and active. Investigators are using new software, digital forensics, and advanced mapping to help. But 13 years later, there are still no answers, no sign of Kyron Horman. It was June 4th, 2010, when we got the call. A 2nd grader had vanished from Skyline School in Northwest Portland. Police searched the area all night long, but found nothing. They distributed photos of Kyron Horman. The missing 2nd grader wore a black T-shirt with CSI printed on it the day he disappeared. Soon the FBI got involved, and the search expanded. The investigation stretched on for days, then weeks, then years. No one has ever been charged in the case, although investigators have focused on the boy's stepmother, Terry Horman. She dropped Kyron off at school the day he disappeared. Terry Horman has long denied any wrongdoing. Last year, investigators released this age progression image of Kyron Horman. This is what he might look like today. Kyron would be 20 years old. Late today, I spoke with Desiree Young, Kyron's biological mother. She'll never give up.
I'm just committed to Kyron and making sure, no matter what, that we find answers and we can bring him justice. And I pray that we get to bring him home.
There's a $50,000 reward for information leading to the resolution of Kyron's disappearance. If you have any information, you're encouraged to call the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office.
13 years on, Kyle. Appreciate that update tonight. Well, just a short time ago, President Biden addressed the nation from the Oval Office over the bipartisan debt ceiling agreement. This compromise cuts some spending and suspends that limit for 2 years. Now, in his remarks, the president emphasized while no one got everything they wanted, it was important to get it done.
Passing this budget agreement was critical. The stakes could not have been higher. If we had failed to reach an agreement on the budget, there were extreme voices threatening to take America for the first time in our 247-year history into default on our national debt. Nothing would have been more irresponsible. Nothing would have been more catastrophic. Our economy would have been thrown into recession. Retirement accounts for millions of Americans would have been decimated.
The president says he plans to sign the deal tomorrow. It passed the Senate yesterday, 63-36. The U.S. was in danger of defaulting on its debt as early as Monday if the deal did not go through. Well, also today, a hot jobs report set the stock market surging. The Dow jumped 700 points. That's more than 2% in its best day since January. The S&P 500 up about 1.5%. According to Labor Department data, the U.S. added 339,000 jobs last month, blowing past Wall Street estimates. However, the data also showed hourly earnings rose less than expected, and the unemployment rate ticked upwards to 3.7%.
An alert tonight for fans of Tillamook Dairy. It has issued a recall for its chocolate peanut butter ice cream. The company says the containers are mislabeled. Inside is actually their waffle cone swirl ice cream. Now that's a concern for anyone with wheat or soy allergies. Tillamook says just under 1,500 cartons were distributed to Safeway stores in Washington and North Idaho. Customers can bring them back for a full refund.
In Washington, police say they are having to get creative to catch thieves. 2 years ago, the state passed the most severe restrictions in the country on when police can chase after someone. While police say it is frustrating, new technology is helping in some cases. In Centralia, Washington, for instance, officers have been using cameras around town to look for license plates from stolen cars. When a stolen car is spotted and officers find it parked somewhere, they've been laying down what are called terminator strips. Those deflate a tire if someone tries to drive away. With those new tools, they have retrieved more stolen cars in the city in the last 2 months than they did in the previous 2 years.
With the laws the way they are, we're still going to do the job the best the law allows us to do it. And this particular system, the flock system, has allowed us to step up our game a little bit.
Well, the latest state budget provides $3 million for police departments to invest in the new technology. It is worth mentioning that this year, state lawmakers relaxed those rules, allowing officers to pursue suspects who flee in more cases.
And take a look at your screen now. It's our first glimpse at how city officials could divide Portland into 4 districts. The city's in the process of creating a new 12-member city council. It's part of a government overhaul that voters approved back in November. Now, on your screen are a few different maps an independent commission released this week. Now, they all look pretty similar, but the big question, where exactly to draw the dividing lines in the central portion of the city? You can get a closer look at the maps and their differences in our article up now on KGW.com.
For the first time in nearly 7 years, Multnomah County plans to open its waiting list for Section 8 housing vouchers. That is rental assistance for people facing steep housing costs. Now, the voucher program opens Monday morning at 9 and will close next Friday night a minute before midnight. Now, this is for people and families with low incomes defined as 50% or less of the area median income for your household size. Now, keep in mind here, this is not first come, first served. Those who apply will be entered into a lottery. For a full list of requirements, head to KGW.com.
If you look out over downtown Portland, you can see prominent new tower in the skyline. It's the Ritz Carlton building, and the hotel is getting set to open in just a few months. Tim Gordon went down to check it out today. Tim, tell us more about what's going on down there.
Well, Laurel, there are a million finishing touches underway, I'd say. They were putting down some sidewalks today. And although we aren't allowed inside yet, there is a lot going on inside as well. For a hotel and mixed-use building built during some tough years in Portland. In fact, they broke ground on this 35-story building just as a pandemic was coming on, and we all know the challenges Portland has had in the past few years. But the building is beautiful with lots of dark glass making a statement up into the air. There are some renderings. We will be showing you, I think, some renderings of what real life will be like inside. The Ritz Carlton will be Portland's only 5-star hotel with 251 rooms, ranging in price from $575 to nearly $2,000 a night. A couple of restaurants and amenities, too many to list.
So we're really positioning it to our Ritz Carlton customer as a destination they need to come and experience. But we're also seeing a lot of interest from Portlanders and those that live in Oregon and the outside areas as well that want to come and have a staycation experience the hotel.
Well, so for a lot of us, it's more than we'd ever spend for a room, but maybe a big dinner or family gathering or cocktail there. Now, the building is not just a hotel, however. The top third of the floors are condos, 132 of them, with a penthouse at the top, going for nearly $8 million. Elite, to say the least, but about 30 condos are in escrow already, we're told. There is also office space as part of the project. And as for the hotel, they're booking rooms for the fall, and the GM says that's going well, that they are confident in Portland's comeback. And they're hiring. Got information on that at kgw.com.
We're going to watch and see what happens there. Thank you, Tim.